Okay, guys, so as you can see, this was my last message. So we're going to test this out and see how this application works. So if I go ahead and put in the number that I wish to purchase airtime for, enter the amount, and then just hit on buy now. As you can see, we have all this data. It's not really ideal, but you can see this was a success. And so we should get a message right about now. So yeah. So yeah, that is the demo for this application. So get ready. All you're going to need to actually build this is going to be a code editor, an internet connection, and to create an account with Intasend. So to do that, just go ahead and use the link down in the description, and let's just go ahead and get started. So I have this user interface right here created using Tailwind CSS, and this is going to be your starting point for this particular tutorial. So I have left the link down in the description for this UI to get you started. And here is the code. It is opened up in my favorite text editor, Visual Studio Code. And to make this possible, we're going to be using Intasend API. So if you're not aware what Intasend API is, what not, Intasend is more than a fintech order payment gateway. It's kind of an all-in-one service that will enable you to get up and running and be able to implement several of these APIs with the simplicity of a few lines of code. So just go ahead and sign up below. There's my link down in the description. So it's a way to support the channel as well at no extra cost to you. So just go ahead, sign up with the link down in the description, and let's get straight to it. So let's not even just get into this. I'm going to create a new page right here. So first of all, to get started, you will need Intasend um, library. So to be able to do this, I've already run that command. So let me just create a new page here. Let me create a new page and call this airtime.php. Yes, yeah. So to get started, you will probably need the library. So the PHP library for this, all you have to do is run this particular command, which is going to be composer require. So composer require Intasend dash php. Yeah, so that is the command you need to get this library. And once you have the library, what you need to do is authenticate before you can make any calls to the API. So to be able to authenticate, what we usually do is you need your publishable key. In some cases, you need both the publishable key as well as the API token. But when it comes to airtime, all you need is your token and the publishable key. So first of all, let us load this. So just require. I need to load all these classes. So vendor autoload.php. Yeah. Okay. So once you have required that, you need the transfer API. So the class, I mean. So just say Intasend PHP. Yeah, just like that. Sorry about this. Yeah, just like that. So next you need to authenticate with your credentials. So I'm going to blur this part out, but this is basically what you must do. You need to get your token and your publishable key, which you can easily find from your Intasend account. So all I have to do is log into mine. You have two-factor authentication, so you'll have to authenticate this via SMS or a token app. which in this case I'm using the token app. Okay, what did we do wrong? That should do it. Yeah, so the token is generated by an authenticator app just for security. Then you'll be able to get this from your settings, going to API keys. Of course, this will be blurred when I edit this, so get that. And it's also advisable to have this in your environment variables, so do not push this anywhere with these credentials because that is a huge security risk. Generates the token right there, we got it, copy. Okay, voila. Okay, so once you have authenticated, now you will have to create an array of the transactions. So this is just saying that you can be able to buy for several numbers, not just a single input at one given time. So, but for this, let's just go ahead and do one number. So just write account to specify that account. Then just put in the phone number starting with 254. So 254-740-408-496. Yeah, pretty simple. Set the amount. So in this case, I'm just going to do 10 shillings. 10 shillings, and also set the narrative. Full disclosure, this has to be activated for your account. So if you do get an error, you can reach out to the support team at Intasend to be able to activate this feature for you. Okay, so the narrative will be Airtime. Yeah, just like that. So since this is just one account, one number, that is okay. So now you have to initiate this, so transfer. So variable transfer is going to be a new initiation, initialize the class, transfer. Then pass those credentials, so transfer init, then just passing variable credentials. Yeah. Then now all you need is now the response, which is going to be variable response is going to be equal to transfer, which is airtime from the Kenya shilling wallet. And transactions. Okay, now call the approve method to approve the last transaction you made, because usually in Intasend, once you create a transaction, you have to approve it. Approve the transaction. Okay, so variable response is going to be the transfer approved, and I also need the response. Yeah, then now we can go ahead and print this to the UI. So print R, because it's going to be an array, and then variable response. Or also we can just go ahead and we can do like echo. then you can say JSON encode the response. Yeah, same thing. So let me just go for this. I think it will look a bit better. So right now this is running on port 3000 right here. So as you can see, this is running, but let me just check. So yeah, so if I go ahead, I can visit the Airtime page. So I'm code online 18. Jesus. Okay, so after a little bit of debugging, I just transferred all of this code to my htdocs folder, and I'm now running this using XAMPP. So yeah, and just a little bit of context now. Once I have the data in the response, I decided to add a log file where I'll be writing this data to, and this reminds me I haven't created it, but yeah, let's just find out if this actually works. So let's just go ahead and open this up. So this resulted in a forbidden invalid API token, and that's just great. Okay. Okay. Let's try that again. Reload the thing. Yeah, so I'm not seeing an error, so I think I should be able to get something from this. Yep. So I do get a recharge right here. Recharge of 5 shillings. So let's just go ahead. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in the HTML. First, let's create this particular file so that we can actually get this data back. Oh, we did. So if I go ahead and format this, you can see you have all this data. You have the transaction ID, you have the phone number, the charges, the paid amounts. So here is where you actually get all the data. You can see the total estimate, the total amount, the transaction count, and also the timestamp to when this was actually created. Okay, so now let's bring this to life by adding the user interface. So to do that, I have this on the initial file. So I'm just going to go into desktop. Okay, Intasend right there, and this is the one. So I just need this HTML. That should be good to go, just like that. So right here, yeah. So now we have this HTML. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this from running by adding an if statement. I'm just going to say if it sets a variable cost, so which means you have to get this data from post. Then I'm going to say if the submit button has been clicked, then run this code. Yeah. Otherwise, don't do it. So yeah, that should stop this. Now let's check out the UI one more time. If it has loaded up. Yeah, except for my berry. So I guess this was in this folder. So let me just copy this whole images folder and go into that XAMPP, the htdocs, same folder, and just paste it. Yeah, that should do it. Refresh, and voila. Okay. Ooh, okay. So now what I need to do is that I have to now go ahead and supply these values dynamically to the particular code. So what we're going to do is head in here where the form begins. So let's just locate that. So this is not wrapped in a form element, so that's okay. We'll have to create one. So it should be right here. Let's just create a form. The method should be post. Going to do index.php. Then I'm going to grab this form tag, the closing form tag, and get it right after the buy button. So now let's check if this ruins the UI. Nope, the UI, it's kind of ruined a little bit. So let's it's a trial and error kind of thing. Okay, my UI cannot be this ruined. What is the closing div for this? Let me check that out. Jesus, damn. Not, I'm putting it under the last div right there. Let's see. You know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. To him, whatever. So you know what? I'm just okay with this. It just be right here. That is not so distorted. So I'll need the input field for phone number. So right here, label for phone. That's the class. And I'm also going to leave this like that. The input type, input name should be phone number, and type should be okay. So as long as the name is phone number, that is good. And for the password, the placeholder should be amount. Okay, so name should be amount. Okay, everything else I don't, doesn't mind. It will not affect the functionality. The button should be over type submit, so that is not included. So let's add that. Type is going to be submit, and the name is also going to be submit. So yeah, that should do it. So this form should be able to submit data using the post method, and we should be able to handle it within the same page. So yeah, let me now transfer this and give them some dynamic values. So what I'm going to do is first set them. So variable phone number is going to be variable underscore post, and it's going to be the phone number. Nope, phone number. And then the variable amount, same shindig, is going to be, yeah, close that. So now I can change this and use dynamic values. Variable phone number, and for the amounts, that will be variable amounts. Yeah, nothing else changes. So user feedback. What I'll do, I'll also echo this data. uh, get this device in here. I only wish there was a way to pin this so that it doesn't keep going out. Maybe if I resize this. Yeah, I think that should do it. Yeah. uh, yeah, so let's just go ahead and do it. First of all, I have this each because I keep seeing that placeholder and it is very annoying. So okay guys, so as you can see, this was my last message. So we're going to test this out and see how this application works. So if I go ahead and put in the number that I wish to purchase airtime for, enter the amount, and then just hit on buy now. As you can see, we have all this data. It's not really ideal, but you can see this was a success. And so we should get a message right about now. So yeah. So yeah, that is the demo for this application. So